Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Path of the Prophets. In a previous video I was discussing the stories of Napoleon's cannoneers shooting off the nose of the Sphinx and how it was rumored to have been to hide history about the African nature of early Egypt and pharaonic Egypt. And then how I had read that it was actually the Ottoman Turks before Napoleon who had shot the nose off. And it's interesting that throughout the Muslim world, there are a number of places that have been destroyed by the Muslims from previous civilizations. And to me, you know, like I can see like the broader prophetic tradition of destroying places of blood sacrifice and sacrificial worship. This makes sense to me. However, to go around and destroying historical sites that actually belong to all of humanity is theft of the highest order. It's also a form of murder, because it is actually murdering the legacy and the hard work and stealing from those from the past who had sent something forward to us in time, a time machine of sorts, a time capsule, a vast library of information for us to access for the descendants of the ancients. So it's very, and we saw this with the Bamiyan statues, the Bamiyan Buddhas in Afghanistan. We saw this happen a few years ago in beautiful Mali in Timbuktu. We also saw this happen in Syria at Zenobia's city, Queen Zenobia's city, Palmyra. And this has happened many, many times in the past. And from my perspective, it's shameful and sinful to go around and destroy. Like, do you see anybody bowing to these things? No. Do you see anybody worshiping? No, you don't see that whatsoever. Do you see Muslims off track in these places? No. These aren't even graveyards or tombs. You know, that's a rumor that was created by the Westerners. That's a lie, from my understanding. Tombs are nondescript and hidden, typically, and with their treasuries and repositories. There are other purposes to the Sphinx and the pyramids, from my understanding. We're going to discuss those shortly. But I just wanted to say that we should be, as Muslimin, we should be the greatest scholars in the world in all areas, anywhere connected to the prophets, peace be upon them. And there are said to be 124,000 prophets who went all across the world. So therefore, and we are to seek knowledge all over the world. So we have access. We are the inheritors of all of the ancients. And there is much information for us to sift through and to learn from. And we should not steal the ability for ourselves nor future generations to think in fresh ways about who we've been and who we are and who we are to be. So we need to preserve our heritage properly. Muslims, we should have the best archaeologists. It is amazing how if you go to, you go and travel through Muslim nations, and so rarely do you find Muslim archaeologists, and you don't hear about Muslim archaeologists being the foremost in the field. It's very, very rare. We should have the best archaeologists in the world. We should have the best linguists in the world. We should have the best mathematicians and scientists, the best artists and artisans, as well as healers. In all different areas, we need quality scholarship. So what I'm saying is that, we shouldn't just leave the heritage sites to be studied by outsiders, but we should have our own high-level scholarly understandings. Matter of fact, when was the last time you heard of Muslim scholars influencing non-Muslims? Where? Oh, 1,000 years ago? Are you serious? That's big? No. We should have scholars that are cutting edge in all fields. We should be the greatest possible thinkers and intuitors. We should be the most excellent humans that we can be. This is our inheritance. This is our destiny, inshallah. So it's time for us to really take our seeking of knowledge to another level. This does not mean memorizing some things and then not being able to analyze it properly from holistic perspectives and then doing weak literal studies. It's not even real literalism. Most of the literalists are not literalists, if you think about it. They're skipping vast data sets. It's very incomplete scholarship, and it's not even worthy of being called scholarly. That's like third grade teachers are part of the scholarly tradition. They help our young people to learn how to learn their maths, their basic reading skills, social skills, a little bit about maps. I learned a lot about maps and geography and cultures. My first, history lessons on deep levels were like second grade. So that's part of the, second and third grade teachers are part of the scholarly traditions, but they are not high-level scholars most of the time. Some of them are great scholars in teaching about learning and the learning process and the learning discipline and teaching. So they should be honored in these respects. But we need to think about the scholarly tradition. We need to preserve our history and our heritage very well and pass it on, because this is just, this is merciful, it is dishonorable, it is theft, and it is murdering legacies to destroy, as so many people have done in the past, like whoever shot off the nose, desecrated the noses of these. And we see, like the Pharaonic people, they were doing their own desecration. They were destroying the history, the cartouches and the hieroglyphics of previous pharaohs, trying to desecrate and destroy history, because to prevent people from knowing their history is theft and murder, and we should not tolerate it. We need to be people of justice, people of integrity and dignity. We need to be spiritually mature. So let's consider this. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.